Hey YouTube, this is VidHead85 here, and I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about Ron Paul. Now, some people would say, who the hell is Ron Paul? He was definitely in the news quite often as having won a lot of, actually he won Nevada, he won quite a few other states, but I'm going to let you know about that and why. First, this is an article by Laura Trice, and why they believe he can win the nomination for the GOP in 2012, which would make the Republican campaign viable again, but there is a conflict in play. So Ron Paul has to win a plurality or a majority of 5 states in order to qualify for the ballot and a 15-minute speaking slot. Sounds fair enough, right? So if he wins the 5 states and the slots and the slot is all done with, right? Wrong. Romney campaign has been slighting and undermining the Paul campaign, and it could very well cost them the election if Ron Paul is on the ballot. So what do? They contest a win in Massachusetts, and the GOP awards Romney the win, and also Ron Paul won the Iowa and Minnesota caucus. He won Oregon, Nevada, and Louisiana, but Louisiana was awarded to Santorum. But that keeps him in the running still. However, they are contesting the wins so that he can be wiped off the ballot and he wouldn't have to split the GOP vote. The problem is, with this electioneering and media manipulation, Romney still hasn't been able to duplicate the loyalty of Ron Paul supporters that he has earned by serving the American people and promising to end the wars. And he has also served in the military, unlike the candidate who fled to Canada to avoid the draft. So why are they so scared of Ron Paul? Simply, if he wins the nomination, the GOP cronies will be shown the door, and while they'd have a better chance of winning in November, their interest is keeping Romney as the nominated candidate. Now, even if nominating Paul increases their chances of defeating President Obama, they can't allow a true fiscal conservative to end the tax cuts for them and force them to pay more taxes with his budget. He is in the same position as Warren G. Harding, who went into the Republican convention with the least amount of delegates, and then he got the nomination and went on to win the presidency. Now, 4 reasons are laid out why he can get the nomination. Little people like us, when they join together, they can defeat big money. Romney raised $152 million, mostly from banks. Ron Paul's $39 million came from small people like you and me. And again, his loyalty. People are loyal to Ron Paul. In fact, my ex-boyfriend and his father, they're voting for Ron Paul. And they said, I don't care. If he's not on the ballot, then I'm not voting for Romney and I'm not voting for Obama. That's good enough for me. Another reason is she cites is Ron Paul, excuse me. I always get the 2 mixed up because they're both Pauls. Ron Paul understands the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and when Romney was asked about a basic constitutional question, he said he had to ask his lawyers. I don't know if he understands the actual Constitution and the equal protection under the law part. That's just me. They also say Ron Paul wants to serve his country, and Americans want something that they can believe and trust in. Honestly, I believe Ron Paul over Mitt Romney. And he further argues that Romney is not qualified as he does not understand the Constitution. Now, many people will say if Romney played fair and square, he would have been a better choice for the candidacy of president because he was willing to let the best man win. However, in the debacle in Michigan, the GOP gave both Santorum and Romney a split of the delegates as opposed to the winner-take-all contest that it was supposed to be. And this points to the fact that they want Romney to take the presidency. Now, there's another issue, too. That they know that Romney's nomination and he has an interest in keeping the nomination because the GOP do, because tax cuts for them will remain. And if Paul has a commitment to the social programs and didn't think that they should be done away with, and he will protect them at all costs, I would not have an issue voting for him. However, his social policy regarding gay rights is not something that I would want to vote for him on. But I want Paul to be on the ballot, and Gary Johnson, he's also going to be there on the Libertarian Party, because the simple fact is whatever costs the GOP the presidency, especially Mitt Romney the presidency, is okay with me. Obama 2012, I support Paul being on the ballot simply because he'll split the GOP vote, and nobody likes Romney anyway. I don't think that there are enough people who will grudgingly vote for Mitt Romney because they can't trust his fiscal policies and they can't trust his social policies either. And he would also cause World War III with Britain, our strongest ally. A president that could do that does not deserve to be leading America. Have a great day, YouTube.